Mascot Horror has lost its fear factor, but that does not automatically make every game in the series a failure. We compare classics like FNAF 1 to Garden of Banban, but forget about games like Security Breach. Let's be honest, outside of the daycare part, the game wasn't scary, but it was fun. The Security Breach era will forever be remembered, and many like myself are reminiscent about it. But if Security Breach wasn't scary, why did many love it when FNAF was created for horror? The vibe. Playing FNAF 1 put you in a dark, cramped environment with animatronics, making their way to you, slowly, making it feel tense throughout. Security Breach, the massive neon environments feel interactive like a fun park rather than a horror environment, like original FNAFs. From Monty's Gator Golf to Roxy's Raceway, every part of these maps is full of life with bright lights and movement being your defense. Players, now given the freedom from the cramped environments previously, the atmosphere encourages exploring and interactions rewarding it in ways that cramped spooky diner can't. Even with the lack of horror, this made a memorable experience for me and others. The fun and chaos really made the community embrace this game. A comparison of Security Breach and FNAF 1 isn't about which is scarier, it's about which invested players with aspects from their games. The start of both games set the tones, but in Security Breach's case, throughout the game we see fun neon environments except the daycare, when the lights obviously go out. It felt like traversing a mall compared to previously cramped locations. The bright open spaces made exploring fun, and that energy was also seen in the fanbase. If you were here when the game came out, you remember the hype and many memes created for the game. The community of the game was so fun to be a part of. It felt like a second coming of FNAF, bringing in a new audience for a new genre of a game like the FNAF 1's renaissance. Of course this game isn't scary. It wasn't meant to be. This game isn't perfect either, but let's start with the strengths of the game. Before we get to the neon environment, let's start with the honestly only scary part of the game, the daycare. And when the assistant became Moon, turning a bright daycare into a dark environment was terrifying. The ambience of this part and hearing Moon's voice added to this. You hide in the play structure, thinking it will keep Moon away until you check your cameras or literally see him traverse the structures to get you. Any part of security you think you have will eventually end. Like a security breach. I was so immersed in the environment I literally couldn't beat it without a tutorial. Every time I replayed this part I followed a 40-second video that helped me get all the generators fast to avoid the horror in this part, and so did many others. But when this ends we run to Freddy to save us. This is also positive in the game. Freddy an ally now, but many found it uncommon, with YouTubers saying things like this.
And y'all see the irony of me climbing into the suit when the kids were stuffed inside of the suits in the first game?
But Freddy saved us so many times, and his vibrant personality was loved by all. The feeling of running from one of the enemies going into Freddy's stomach hatch was an instant dopamine rush. We all quickly got used to him being our ally. In some endings, Freddy was straight up killed, and we were all honestly heartbroken seeing our boy Freddy no longer with us and his community lines. But this game also allowed you to save him, so you don't always get a depressing ending. In locations Monty's Gator Golf, Phaser Blast, Roxy Raceway, all show the amazing environments present, feeling like a theme park disguised as a horror game. Playing in these surroundings gives me a feeling of a moment I'll never forget, and being in it makes me realize I'll always look back at it. The charm these maps had will forever last, at least in our hearts. There were also mini games, obviously the big ones which were fun, but Monty's Golf was very fun, and I didn't even know about it or played it. This game had so many extra content like presents and minigames. Now to some not so positive things about the game. Bugs. But the thing is, I didn't experience any of these bugs and many didn't, but the video spread. Instead of ruining all the player base, it became a funny part of the community. It was talked about more positively than negatively, being a way to make the fan base bigger. I'm just gonna say this now so I don't have to keep saying it, but for all these next parts, I straight up didn't experience any of this, but many did. It was quickly fixed, but if the game took a little bit longer before releasing, it would have never happened. The animatronics straight up disappeared like Freddy making the immersion in, or one chasing you disappearing, which is actually a positive. This place is overrun with these pieces of crap. Gosh! Sometimes objectives won't appear, meaning you can't advance in the game, but you can look at the beautiful environment, while a $45 game completely broke. From this point on I experienced this. So many soft locks in this game, many ways to get stuck and you can't progress without reloading your save. I remember in the DJ Music Man part, I jumped and got stuck in the objects he threw, but he didn't even kill me, continuing to walk, meaning I had to leave and rejoin. This happened a lot of times, but the next aspect of the game was frustrating. If you were found by a staff bot, animatronic would teleport right next to you, and it's so easy to fix. Just teleport it in a nearby room or in an area where we can't see. I know this map is massive, but teleporting right next to me not only ruined immersion but led to death a lot of times. But throughout all these negatives, I only remember the positive of the game and the amazing community. The statement, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them," really describes my feelings on this game. Even though I broke a mouse in the DJ Music Man scene when I reminisced on this game, I don't remember this at all. This experience was the best FNAF experience I've ever been through. The community never felt bigger. Even with all the problems, now you remember this as the best era to be a fan. The many old fans and new crowd of people brought in. You've already heard a lot from my experience, but there's more. I have 100 hours in this game. I don't even know how. I beat this game many times and I've been through the environment so much. I also think it took me a ridiculous amount of time to beat. I was even playing the original version, not the DLC in 2023 for nostalgia. But the worst part about every moment is the end. Even the DLC came out about 2 years ago, and the Security Breach fanbase is completely dead, as FNAF has came out with a new open world game. Everyone's moved on, but remembers the wonderful moments he shared. We will never forget this time. Thank you for your time.